President-elect Trump takes office in a little more than 3 weeks. He's promised to get work on day one, expanding oil drilling and fracking in this country. For a view of what that could look like, let's welcome Dan Brouillette, the former Secretary of Energy under President Trump, now an industry advisor to the energy industry. Dan, great to have you with us. He may want to expand drilling for oil in this country, but do the oil companies want to do that with oil at $70 a barrel?
Well, Happy New Year, Melissa. Great to see you. Yeah, I think the president is going to apply a common sense approach to energy policies here in the United States. And what I mean by that is he wants to make that production, maybe expand the production, but that's really market driven. What he really wants to do is make that production more efficient. So what we've seen over the last few years in the U.S. is that while our production numbers have gone up, so have the cost of that production. And that's why retail consumers for things like refined diesel or refined gasoline are not seeing the benefit of that increased supply in the marketplace. We're seeing that not only in oil and gas, but also in other places in the energy space.
So can you enlighten us in terms of those costs, those production costs specifically, that are as a direct result of governmental requirements, bureaucracy, et cetera?
Sure. Well, if you look back at the earliest parts of the Biden administration, the Department of Interior is required by law to conduct leasing sales for offshore production. The Biden administration delayed those lease sales out of the Department of Energy, and so much so that a court actually forced the DOI, the Interior Department, to conduct a sale. But what the department did in response was to raise the fees on those auctions and also to raise other elements of the sale itself. So they reduced the acreage and raised the fees, which, consumers are going to pay the price for in the long run.
Mm-hmm. The Biden administration also unleashed a huge wave of investment in the clean energy space. And when the election happened and Mr. Trump won, green energy stocks dropped. That was the initial reaction. So I'm curious, from your standpoint, are some of those things in the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act passed in 2022, will they get rolled back? Will there be less investment in clean energy under a Trump administration? Does that come to an end?
No, I don't think there'll be less investment in green energy or renewable type energy production. What happens in Congress with regard to the IRA is, I guess, an open question right at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. I suspect that some of those tax credits will stay in place. But the bottom line is that if you look across the United States today, what we're noticing is that we are short on electrons. We are short on electricity. As this continued demand comes online from AI, from continued manufacturing growth here in the United States, we simply have to increase our generation of electricity. We also have to increase our ability to transport that product to market. So transmission towers, distribution networks are all going to be necessary. So I think you're going to continue to see investments here all across the board.
What sorts of investments in the grid, in your view, need to happen in order to transport those electrons? Because it's not just AI. I mean, if Mr. Trump also wants to bring, for example, Bitcoin mining to the U.S., you need energy for that, too. That's a huge energy consumer. And right now, Bitcoin miners can get much cheaper electricity in other countries, which is why a lot of it is mined overseas in South America and in Asia. So in terms of modernizing the grid, what needs to happen? I mean, it seems like the grid right now is sort of made up of regional sections that don't necessarily interconnect. And so energy can't be transmitted to where it needs to get to, where it's in demand.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think interconnections throughout our grid, we can modernize our electricity grid here in the United States. But one of the more vexing challenges to building out infrastructure here in the United States is our permitting processes. And if you look back over time, what you've seen is a lengthening of those processes, which of course adds money and adds costs for consumers. So it's something we have to address as a nation. I know Congress took some initial steps to do exactly that, but we need to do much, much more. We simply need to make it more efficient to do business here in the U.S.
What other things do you think that a DOE could do to incentivize investment in this area, if it needs to be incentivized at all? I mean, at this point, if you look in the stock market, the stocks that have done well related to AI are utility companies, because people recognize the need for energy. Is there a way to sort of capitalize on that investor demand for these types of investment on a government level?
Well, I think, what policymakers tend to do very quickly here in Washington, D.C. is offer funds, spend money. It's usually what makes a good press release if you're an elected official. We don't need to do that in this particular industry. Capital is not usually the issue. I don't want to suggest that it's easy to raise money for these projects, but it's easier than perhaps some policymakers think. What we need to do is address the real hurdles, and it's what I mentioned earlier. It's allowing the permitting for the development of this infrastructure. As I mentioned, I mean, we figured out the production question here. We know how to produce oil and gas. We're now the world's largest producer. We're the world's largest producer of LNG. We now provide most of Europe's LNG, natural gas. So we know how to do those things. What our challenge has become is actually moving the product to the markets. It's getting the electron to where the load is or where the demand is. It's getting the molecule from the upstream production to the open ocean so that we can help our allies all around the world. So it's really fixing the permitting process that the DOE, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, others in Washington, D.C. can help with.
Has the permitting process gotten worse in your view? I mean, in terms of the red tape that you need to go through in order to do all of these things that need to be done? Or is it just that they need to be removed given the urgency of the situation right now for energy demand?
No, it's clearly gotten worse. I mean, just over the last 4 years, I can tell you when I was secretary, the average time for a permit at the DOE was somewhere around 108 days, maybe 110 days. That's well over 180 days now out of the Department of Energy. So, you know, clearly things have slowed down over the course of the last 4 years. And, you know, Melissa, in this business, time is money. So if it takes time to get that permit, that means you're probably hiring more personnel to help you get through those processes. So consumers are bearing the brunt of all of those costs.